go, Shrek. Come on, give me a kiss.
People love my blowjob face.
It's a dictionary of dicks. What's wrong with this?
And mostly when I play, I'm like, I'm blowing shit up.
We have a self-jerking machine.
That's hot.
Aw, Mario, stop touching me. I'm your brother Luigi.
Pre-recorded live from across these great United States. Sometimes you like to play with other things, but let's play with ourselves. After all these podcasts, you'd think I'd figure out how to put something by the mic.
You can flip it in. You know how to put your mouth next to the mic. I think that's enough. And by mic, I mean a dude.
Dude's dick. That was my old podcast.
I never said dick.
Behind a gas station talking to a dude's dick. He'd give me a quarter. It was awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm SuperPaulGames, and I'm joined by the wonderful Gamerpixie222.
Hi, you guys. Can you find the... Never mind. It's fine. I can't. Okay. Hi. What's up, you guys? How you feeling? It is podcast number 19 or 20.
19. I'm always repressed. That was a Freudian slip. I'm always impressed. Nobody heard that by how you remember the number.
So I didn't. I was like 19 or 20. Then you had to like liberate yourself because you're so repressed. Yeah, so hi guys, what's up? It's after the holidays. How was your Christmas? That was cool.
That's actually the first question I wrote down. I was like, I will ask her how her Christmas was.
Christmas. How did your quitmas go? I quitted. Good.
Like, I'm done! Fuck it! I didn't.
Done.
My Christmas, I had jalapeno poppers, and I had some eggnog, and I watched Netflix, and I made videos. So it was kind of quiet and lonely, but
aww,
a few days before that, I hung out with my family. I get behind on my messages, because I get so many YouTube messages or messages from friends.
Oh, Mr. Popular.
And so, like, the Sunday before Christmas, I look at a message, and my sister's like, we're having a party, and I'm like, crap, it's like an hour from now. And then it was really cool. She had it all planned, and me and her and my grandma, we made apple pie, and my dad made a turkey dinner, and we all hung out, and we exchanged some presents. My brother got me Madden 16, so there may or may not be an LP of that in the future. I don't know.
Shit. Probably. Most likely.
Maybe. I wanted to do a create-a-player mode, kind of like an MLB, but the create-a-player mode in this is horrible.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Though, what's wrong with it?
Well, you know, like in MLB, you make your guy, and then you go play some...
You can give him a big old butt. Yes. You can. You could actually do that. I don't know if Paul showed you that.
I didn't do that, but yes.
You can't control their, like, chest or their arms or their legs, but you can give them really big old butts. Sorry, go ahead.
So in MLB The Show, which is awesome, you make your character, and then you go play some exhibition games, like prospect games, and then if you want, you go into the draft, and then you go on to a minor league team if you want to, or go back to college to develop, and you work your way up. There's all kinds of cool things you can do like that.
Yeah.
And you can, when you get on a minor league team, you can ask your coach, hey, start me, or put me into this position, or trade me.
Start me, coach. Start me now. Start me hard.
And Madden has none of that. You make your character, there's no combine, there's no draft. You make your character, you pick your team, and you automatically start. You can be 70, and you're going to start over Peyton Manning, who's like a Hall of Famer, or going to be a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. So it just really ruins that. You can't ask for trades, so it has none of that immersion. It's really crappy. And then the in-game presentation is really horrible. Like MLB The Show, Gamerpixie's played it too.
Yeah, it's fun.
You start it up, and you've got your pregame, right? They're like, this is going to happen, here's the lineups.
And then you fail really hard, and everyone's like, the worst team will pick you up because you have no experience points. Good, sorry. That's usually what happens.
So with Madden, when you're doing the be a player mode, you start it up in the pregame starts. It'll be like Phil Simms and Jim Nantz. They'll be like, we're here in the Meadowlands. The Giants are going to play the Cowboys. What do you think, Phil? And Phil's like, the Cowboys aren't. And it just cuts off. Yeah, it just does that. It cuts off.
It just does.
The announcers repeatedly, the in-between stuff.
Why?
And
is it during a transition that it cuts it off, or does it?
No,
does the audio literally just ends?
The audio literally just ends, and you go right to the Sims screen.
What, they could pay him or something? I don't know.
And that happens in between plays too. Like you'll have a good play, and they'll be like, "That was really good." Cuts right off.
Wow, that really breaks. I don't want to say it breaks immersion, but it kind of does. Yeah. Whereas MLB, they actually, like, after a while in MLB, you can recognize some of the same dialogue is being played, but they have, like, a million different pieces of dialogue that they play throughout the thing, too. And it's actually really nice. I like it.
And MLB has very seamless transitions, as you know, where you go from the
they
sim
don't
screen.
Just stop.
Yes.
Sometimes they do, but you could tell that's the game being like, ah, my God. Yeah, like, you'll... You know what? Now that you mentioned that, that's actually really nice, because you'll, like, if you get to first base and you're, like, waiting for the next, your batter or whatever to, like, get you to whatever base. I don't know how to play baseball, but I play this game because there's big butts.
Big butt baseball.
Really big butt baseball. No, but yeah, they do have, like, the announcers are actually talking while you're, like, waiting on base, which is very nice.
And if you get out, they'll keep talking as you switch to the sim screen in MLB, so it's nice transitions. Madden doesn't have any of that. And then, like, the NCAA football game I've played is you have 3 options when you're in the sim screen. Scream. And your options are sim to your...
Gonna murder you. Scream.
Or sim the next play, where you don't see it, but you see the result. Sim until you're in, or you can watch the next play. So that makes it really good for a Let's Play. So if I go downfield and we have to settle for a field goal, I can watch the field goal in the college one. You can't do that in Madden. Basically, you'll drive downfield for 3 minutes, and then you have to sim the rest. You don't see it, so it makes it very anticlimactic.
Well, then what the point? It's just like football. Is it just the whole gameplay? Like, is the gameplay really good?
The gameplay is all right, but the player mode, at least, is... just ruined all sense of immersion.
Because of that.
Yeah, because if you drive downfield and you want to see the extra point or the field goal, you don't get to see it. It's just simmed. If you're down by, like, 3 points and there's a minute left and the other team's got the ball, you can't watch them drive for what's the climatic finish. You hit the button and you're just like, it's done. You know,
and then they're like, okay, move you to the next set. And that does sound very, very, very disappointing.
It is. Now, I don't know if all the game modes are like that, but that game mode was... Like, I was so ready to LP that when I saw it, I was like, there's no way I'm LPing that.
There's no way that I'm putting that on my channel. I'm Paul. I have standards.
So, I'm not going to put that on my channel where, like, where I record for half an hour and people watch the game, and then, like, the last dramatic 3 seconds is just a 1 second sim. Nobody gets to see what's going on. Like, nobody wants to watch that.
I don't know. No, I agree with you. I wouldn't want to watch that. In fact, if you upload that, I would, like, send out a viral video of me sitting down and crying, be like, don't watch this video, and then I get 1 million views, and I'd give you money.
You'd be like, worst LPer ever. So, how was your Christmas?
My Christmas was cool. I celebrated Christmas, like, 2 days before actual Christmas. And it was hella fun. I got things I didn't even know I wanted. Last episode, I was like, I'm hoping I'll get an HD camera for Christmas. Ha! And I didn't get one. So I was like, cool. But I ended up getting Christmas money, so I did buy myself one. It's like a Sony, I think. Sony HD camera. Some other, like, serial number shit on there. So looking forward to getting that. But yeah, otherwise, nice Christmas. Didn't snow, but the next day it snowed. I missed out. I feel so bad. I missed out. I could have gone and seen Star Wars Hope Awakens, but I didn't because I felt really sick. And I didn't want to go to the theaters that day. And I feel bad because my brother is, like, I wouldn't say a diehard Star Wars fan, but he loves Star Wars a lot. And he was like, this was a really good movie. And then I felt more sick. That I missed it. But other than that, it's pretty cool. I got cool presents. I got a Boba Fett, I have it right in front of me. I have a Boba Fett coaster. It's a very sexy picture of Boba Fett doing some shooting and flying.
Do you think he has one of those too? That'd be hilarious if he did.
I don't know, dude. Like, that'd be, I don't see him drinking things in glass on wooden tables. I just don't see that, so maybe have it on the wall.
I have an image of him now in a Halloween costume, like those cheap kid ones where you have a smock, where he's wearing a smock of himself with a picture of himself as he goes trick-or-treating.
You go trick-or-treating. You know, when I was a kid, I always thought that Darth Vader was his dad, because they both wear helmets, and kids are smart. I seriously thought they were related, and then when he's like, Luke, I am... Well... Whatever, spoiler, you fucking know. He's like, Luke, I am your father. And I was like, oh my god, Boba Fett has a brother now. Yeah, I was fucking stupid as a kid, but I wish you could see this pose on this. He is like, oh yeah, and there's like fire under his butt, like you eat a burrito.
It's not his jetpack?
It is his jetpack, but he does look like he ate a burrito. He looks very satisfied with himself right now. I also got a backpack. Is a backpack with Super Mario on it. So when I go to college, not too far off in the future, I'm gonna have it, and I'll look like a total tool. And I'm very happy with that. I'm happy. I'll look easy, but I won't.
Why will you look easy?
Because I'll be like, I'm so innocent. It's my first time at college. And Google eyes and stuff. People come and be like, oh my god, we could totally play this girl. So easy. And I'll be like, I'll be player one though. And then I'm a gamer.
I have never seen anyone with Mario stuff and been like, yeah, that's going to be easy score.
Dude, you know what's funny is I was like, I don't want to go to, well, I do want to go to college, but I was kind of not like, I was putting off the thought of it, and then when my mom got me the backpack, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, no, seriously, I was like, whoa, this completely revives the drive to go to college, so like, yeah. Gamerpixie's gonna go to college in the spring, I think.
Oh, congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you. I have to study for the entrance test because I'm scared that I'll do bad. But it's community college, so I'll probably do pretty good. Community college is... Oh, and I also got like a really cool Batman wallet that I didn't even know I wanted. It's got Harlequin on it, and it has the Joker, and he's got a Tommy, and it's the animated one that says Mad Love on it, and I dropped it when I was at the bank. And it was really awkward. I was trying to open it and it, like, flew out of my hands. This is nice. What did you get for Christmas? Oh, I got a candle, too.
Well, I got Madden 16. I got some CDs from my family, like Weezer.
CDs of your family, that's what I heard.
No, I made a CD. I made a CD of some of my music stuff because neither of my folks had ever heard me play before, so I made them some of the instrumentals I play.
Did you add the lyrics, too?
No.
I was like, hey, give us some lyrics.
I got some awesome packages in the mail. That sounds fun and dirty. No, Ellie and Nate.
Parcels.
Ellie and Nate, and then Gamerpixie and my friend Lauren all sent me really awesome packages with different food stuffs and delicious things. Yep. And
different poisons.
Gift-wise, my friend Lauren, she sent me the 10th Kingdom, the miniseries.
Fuck yes, Lauren, you are awesome, dude. Lauren, you were Lauren, hugs. Dude, that is so awesome. Sorry, I had to cut you off because that's like my favorite freaking thing ever. Come on, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was the end of it. It's just...
Yeah, well, like, if you guys did hear him, I don't know, because I was, like, drowning him out. You got the 10th Kingdom. You got it in all the discs and everything.
Yep.
Shit.
If you haven't seen it, it's a really cool fantasy miniseries that was on NBC a long time ago.
Way, way back in the day. Oh, I have that on DVD. I need to watch it again. I watched it with my family when I was younger. Oh my god, that's so cool, Lauren. You're awesome. You're so cool. Could send me a DVD too.
I thought you already said you have one though.
I do, but is it on Blu-ray, the one she gave you?
No, it's on regular DVD. So
how many DVDs is it for?
I don't know. I haven't even opened it yet. Just
look at it. Open it. Oh, it's one. How many discs are in there?
I don't know. I've not opened it.
Open it. Okay, no. We're doing an opening video on the podcast or not.
No. Fine. I'm very anal about it. Is that I only open things when I use them.
That's funny.
So I have a DVD of Edward Scissorhands. I love that movie, but I've had that DVD unopened for like 8 years.
Jesus! Oh my god!
I'll open it when I watch it again.
When are you gonna? Well, how long? When are you gonna watch it again?
Edward Scissorhands.
There's some kids that have never seen it and would totally appreciate that copy that you're not using.
You're like, there's some poor kid in Africa who doesn't have a DVD of that.
Probably doesn't have a DVD player though.
Oh, that's judgmental.
Well, you know, it's just a privilege. Sorry. Anyway, after everyone hates me, which I don't really care. Yeah, so that's really cool that you got that. I jelly, even though I own one. I'm jelly that you have it in the wrapping. Because I'm the same way with video games, actually. I have games that I bought out of, like, obligation, and I haven't unwrapped them yet. You know.
Like ones you're gonna LP or just for fun?
Just for the funsies. like, oh, dude, I have to tell that story. So, okay, you know how I got video game crushes and all that shit? I'm not even afraid to admit it. Men be looking fine in video games. So I was sleeping, at night. You're such a devil. No, I was sleeping, I think it was like a couple nights ago, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, oh my god, like, I swear to God this happened. I woke up, I was like, oh my god, I need to play the entire Metal Gear Solid series. I really need to do this. And I was like, okay, I gotta start the first one, Twin Snakes or whatever. Technically the first, like, with Snake in it and all that stuff. Because I think there's other Metal Gear Solid games. Before that. But I was like, okay, well, dude, let's Amazon that shit and just get it. Because they had, like, a GameCube version, and that's the one I wanted because it's enhanced graphics. A used copy without a case or a manual is $60.
Damn.
That's really expensive. And then I was like, I'll just Google search Ocelot pictures instead, and I was satisfied. I love Ocelot so much. Did you see, well, I don't know if, like, you've seen this, but on Steam they have advertisements for it. Have you seen pictures of Metal Gear Solid 5?
I have not.
Oh, dude. Ocelot is so pretty. He's old and he's so pretty. He's so hot. I really want to go back and play all those games again, but it's expensive stuff, and I got laid off recently, so I was like, fuck. But yeah, that's my story of, like, waking up in the middle of the night being like, I must play Metal Gear Solid.
Recently I bought a basketball game, and it was utter crap, because people wanted me to LP one, and I wanted to do a college basketball game. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get one from a different developer. And so I went to get College Hoops 2K8, because that was the last year they made one, and I heard really good things about it, and it was like $18, even though it's like a 6-year-old game, and I thought that was much. And then when you told me it was 60, I'm like, oh, that's I have nothing to complain about.
What? How much was it? Like $16? Is that what you said?
No, it cost me 18.
$18? Yeah, no. I was like, I really, oh my god, I want that game so bad. One, because it has Gray Fox in it. It has a part where Snake is eavesdropping, and he does an aerial cartwheel over a fucking doorway to get a better view of the people he's eavesdropping on, but it's so stupid because he puts himself in a more vulnerable position that if he gets caught, he's totally fucked. But he did a cartwheel over a goddamn doorway. How can you not? And he does like a backflip onto a missile. For y'all, look that up, dude. It's wonderful. Yeah, it's too expensive. I hate that when you're like, I totally want to play this, and you can't find it anywhere else. It's like it's on an emulator, but emulators are kind of they're wacky. They're wacky.
I've got lucky with, like, some of these games I've had forever, like Birth of the Federation and Gangsters, where, unless you get them on GOG, but Birth of the Federation isn't on that. If you go on Amazon, you're going to spend, like, $60, $100 on some of those.
Yeah, it's fucking steep, dude. And like you said, you know how you're talking about, like, the wrapping, you like to keep DVD cases in the, cellophane. Like, no manual, no case, $60? I was like, oh no, that like really goes against my like geek. I gotta have, because you know, I think I've told that story before where I was like, as a kid I got rid of the jewel cases because of space stuff, storage means, and then later I'm like, if I could go back in time and strangle myself, I totally would. But yeah, so that'll have to wait. I have 5 million games, and when I know I can't buy one game, I'm like, oh no, I'm so bothered.
Years and years ago, when I used to make cartoons and send them to film festivals, there was a point in time where I was so poor I couldn't afford DVD cases. Like, I was that broke.
Oh,
so I would just steal them from games I had. I'd be like, well, this Madden case is a DVD case now for a DVD or a film festival submission.
Wait, so you'd like give them? Would you rip off the stuff though, the labels?
Yeah, I'd pull the labels off. But you know when they
like here's a copy of Madden here.
Like the old PlayStation ones, when you'd open them, they'd have a little plastic thing so you could put a memory card in there.
Yeah.
So they'd open it up and it would be obvious it's not a DVD case when you can see there's a spot for a memory card in there. But
they probably either looked at that and be like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is so wise and resourceful," or they're like, oh, "Fucking trash." But I bet you there's like two people standing there saying that. Or one guy with two personalities. Oh, well, you do what you gotta do, man, to get to the top. I don't know what you get. You gotta do shit to get to where you wanna be. Right?
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
Oh, well, me too. It never ends. You get to one place and then you're like, oh, fuck, I can get higher than this. And then soon you got a hotbox.
I was gonna make a drug joke, but you beat me to it. I was like, I'll just wait till that's done,
know.
and then and she's like, nah, don't worry, I got it.
Ha, drug it out of me.
Ah, well done.
I am so...
You were the heroine of that story.
I shot up into the air and flew away. Oh, dear Lord in heaven! Shit. Yeah, so that was our holidays. Comment below how your holiday was.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Rate?
Oh, I told you, but alright, if I have to comment too under the podcast. I mean...
Be like, oh, you told me to, it was fun. No, you should time mark it and then be like, that's how my holiday was. Back to when you were explaining it. So, yeah, I feel like such an emotional wreck because before we started recording, I watched the movie Up with my mom, and I pretty much cried through the entire movie.
Aw.
No, it's a good, it's a good kids movie. It has a lot of those problems where it's like, oh, I wonder who the bad guy is. Oh, you're not gonna help them? Oh, really? Really? And then at the end, like, of course, the person's like, oh, I have a character arc because I looked at a drawing. And you're like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But the music's really sad, and anyone who's seen Up, you'll know, like, in the first 20 minutes of the film, you're like, oh my god, why did you do that? Have you seen Up at all?
Nope.
You haven't kept up with Disney media?
I don't watch Disney films much. In fact, I don't watch films usually unless I'm dating someone, to be honest. I mostly spend most of my time playing on my guitar or playing video games or watching LPs.
That's me too. Or like watching I watched the Garfield movie recently and it was such a bad movie. Oh my god. Like the animated Garfield movies are so much better. Like, oh my god, the Garfield movie was so bad. You know when there's like a movie and it has like gratuitous, it's like super obvious that product placement was a thing, and like in every other scene there's like product placement. I really don't like that, and that movie did that a lot. Also, Garfield was weird. So he was weird. I don't know. This is not... I'm a Garfield fanatic, and I know how he should be, and in the movie he was wrong. They also casted Breckin Meyer as John, which didn't really make any sense to me. That was weird. And Nermal was a Siamese cat, and he wasn't a child either.
That's
very odd. Yeah, and Arlene was like a gray tabby or whatever, and they were barely in the movie. They were just kind of like... They came in when the moral was like... Basically, spoiler alert for all y'all people who want to see a hellish shitty movie. Garfield is living nicely with John, and then John's like, oh my god, Liz, I love you so much. And Liz's like, oh, you should have this dog, because he doesn't have a home, and the dog's Odie. And Garfield's like, I don't like Odie, bleh. And then the whole movie is like him being like, I don't like Odie, and then he gets him away, and then John's like, oh my god, Odie, and then Garfield is all of a sudden like, oh, I like Odie. And Arlene and fucking Nermal didn't come into like the parts that of the movie that were like, oh my god, Garfield, you're fucking dick. Breckin Meyer is John. What the fuck? Why did you do that? And I swear to god, every other scene has like product placement in it. At the end, John and Liz are like sitting on the couch together and they're eating a snack, and it's goldfish. It's a bag of goldfish, like super cheddar goldfish, and it's posed in such a way that like the light is gleaming off of it, and they're doing like, they're panning out of the scene, and I was like, are you... It was a bad movie, guys. Don't watch it. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have anything to apologize.
Yeah, it's just, I love Garfield. He's been there ever since I was a kid. You ruined it. Nah, I knew this movie would be bad. But yeah.
I just find it interesting, your fascination with Garfield films.
I do love Garfield, and I knew the Garfield movie would be really bad. I just wanted to like really experience it for myself, and I experienced it all right. You know when movies are like really, really predictable,
Yes, that is most Hollywood films anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. It was really that, and I don't know. Garfield was so mean. Like, Garfield's mean, but they made you like hate him and stuff. It was odd, and they're like, oh, he's just so lazy. I'm like, he's fucking evil. Yeah, well, steer clear, you guys. Gamerpixie gives the Garfield movie 2 out of 5 stars. Go.
So why does it get 2 stars?
Garfield.
Is it just because it had Garfield in it?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I would like. I'll give it 2 stars because it wasn't like Sharknado bad. It was just like, it was just like, ugh. No, I didn't like Garfield in this. Like, in every other show or like medium that I watch Garfield, I'm like, oh, I like Garfield. He's funny, he's lazy, but he's got a good heart. Like, he's got morals and stuff. And this was just like Garfield was a total bitch, and he was just like, oh yeah, well, everything revolves around me, ha, John. I did, like, how Garfield would do like one mean thing in a row and then be kind of like nice about it. In the movie, it was like constant. Like, he'd do 4 really shitty things in a row, and it's like, I'm Garfield. It was like, no, you're a fucking prick. When I say 2 stars, is that at least it was like cinematography, as shitty as it was, because it was just like stuck in a house most of the time, like a horror movie. It was pretty good. So, 2 stars for your cameraman doing his job.
I'm pretty sure that's something I'll never get around to seeing.
Yeah, and don't ever go out of your way. It's fucking awful. Have you what was I gonna say? Yeah, well, if you guys haven't noticed, I did recently acquire the power to get discs from Netflix. That's why I've been able to watch all these shitty films. Yeah, it's cool.
It's like when you do certain Let's Plays like Indiana Jones, though. Mm-hmm. You're one of the few people I know where you're like, this is really bad. Not so bad it's good, but it's really bad, but I'm going to experience it.
Oh yeah, seriously. Well, this Indiana Jones is actually like, it's the badness is like, this is good. It's rewarding in a way. It rewards you with little things. Indy will go through walls. He'll like get stuck on palm trees. That is enough for me to want to play that game. I killed a monkey recently on accident. If you look at the recent episode I put up, I don't shoot him. No, I don't hit him. I don't punch him. I crawl towards him, and he's on the edge of a cliff, and he can't fall, and I crawl towards him, and then he falls, because I guess my hitbox or whatever, like, just conflicted with his. The polygons did not meet up, so the invisible wall for him disappeared, and he fell off a cliff.
So you're saying you helped a suicidal monkey get off the edge. You're like, see ya.
Yeah, he was like, hoo hoo ha ha, wanna die? And I was like, okay. Hoo hoo ha ha, you're dead. See, it's rewarding. With the Garfield movie, no one died. It was just, like, stupid. Oh, and there's this part where they're like, the bad guy is, I don't know, he's bad. And you're like, okay. He's bad because he wants to exploit Odie. And Odie can do tricks. And we're like, okay, cool, whatever. And then all of a sudden the bad guy's like, but I'm so bad, I'll give him a shock collar. And I'm like, there's really no fucking reason you need a shock collar. You're just doing this to be like, look how mean he is. He's using a shock collar for no reason. Kids movies, they're like, he's bad, but he's really bad. And it's like, there's no reason for him to actually do that. But kids movies, because kids are stupid. Hey, I liked really bad movies when I was a kid. The Brave Little Toaster was a good movie.
I like The Brave Little Toaster, too.
Like, this is actually an okay movie. Has anyone ever seen Annabelle? Ever seen that about the cow that gives her voice to a little boy? Spoiler alert.
Oh, no. I thought you meant the Disney cow.
Is it animated?
Well, one of the Disney cow characters is named Annabelle. It's like one of the old ones.
Wait, what? Flubber?
I think so, or Clarabelle. It's something with a bell. I don't know.
Oh, you mean Claire? You mean the one,
whatever.
Like in the old cartoons?
Yeah.
That one? Oh, the one where Goofy's like, lady, your fire's on house. And she's like in the bath, and he's like, ah. Yeah, that's a... God, that's a good episode. Listen to us, you guys. Podcast, it's about getting together and being nostalgic.
I remember one time
I went to Disneyland and I got really sick because Cinderella kissed me, and that's it.
Cinderella gave her herpes.
Not herpes.
Yeah.
Shit. I was gonna make a joke. Herpes. Herpes.
Not his peas, her peas.
No, herpes. God. No, it was a dark time. It was a dark time. No, seriously, she kissed me, and like that night, I had fever. She gave, it's all back in the day, and she's all next to animals, and she's like holding the plague, and she just kissed me, and I was like, my mom laughed, like, she felt bad, but she was like, she totally was a carrier or something, and she made you sick, because the lady was not sick at all, she just carried something from her fucking, what is it, the poncho wearing birds, scarves, hankies.
Well, there you go. Go to Disneyland and get diseases.
Well, that's inevitable. There's just so many people there.
Well, that's true, because when we were little kids, and I don't know if it was Disney or on the way back from Disney World, my sister got chicken pox, and then we all ended up getting it. So maybe you're right.
Yeah. Well, isn't chicken pox like... No, you may very well have gotten it, but is chicken pox... Like, don't you carry that virus for a while and then it acts up? Or is that...
No, once you have it, it is always in your system, though.
Oh, okay. There you go. Sent me straight Dr. Paul.
Well, if you've had chicken pox before, that will always be in your system, and it can come back kind of as shingles when you get older in life. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. I got shingles. I hope I don't have them again. I got them when I was young. See, I got everything. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Do everything when you're young, so when you're older, you don't have to do
That's not what they mean. They don't mean, like, old man diseases. They mean, like, have fun and go drink and party. You're like, I did all that. I got a colon. They shoved the camera up my butt. Like, what?
Like, gotta do what you gotta do, man. To feel better up your butt. Camera up the butt.
Now I'm thinking about your big butt baseball, though. You're like, I made those butts big.
Baseball. They do have big old booties, and when you're stealing, you can, like, zoom in on them and stuff. No, enough of this objectifying. Drive away. Shit. Fuck. I was gonna say something, and then you fucked me up, man. You fucked me up. What do you... Okay, Disneyland. Blah, 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 getting sick. But... Thank you. I completely... Oh, no, I remember. Okay, so I have these stories that we'll get to later. I went to a crawl. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
It's bar hopping, but you, like,
buy like a pub crawl?
Yeah, pub crawl. Well, it's my first one, so... Sorry, I forgot to say pub. I went to the Santa pub crawl in Reno, and this is the first time I actually went bar hopping and getting drunk with people, and it was a pretty fun time, you know. I'm not really going to talk about, like, I don't know, it was just really fun, and a lot of people flirted, and butts were touched, boobs were grabbed, no mouths met, which was unfortunate, but I mean, you're drunk, so I guess it was okay. So yeah, there was just a lot of fun going around getting drunk, $3 drinks for, like, well over a cup of something. It was just vodka. It's like vodka with juice, not juice with vodka. And so really drunk at this point on the edge of the street, just laughing. And then my phone goes. I'm like, what? Okay, I'll check my phone. And I checked my phone, and it said someone posted something on your Facebook, your Gamerpixie Facebook. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So I opened it, and I was like, okay, what's this? And I saw, recently, Tenosol and I have come together to make fan art of Alfred and Steve from my Resident Evil Code Veronica Let's Play being homoerotic in fanfic. So we had both agreed to do some fan art on that, and I was standing, just for this, I guess this story is more for Tenosol, I was standing on the side of the street, people screaming next to me, and I saw your fan art, and I, like, squealed, and people were staring at me, and when I woke up the next day, I thought it was a dream, and then I looked it up again, and I was like, oh my god, it really happened, so this is a special thanks story to you. Yeah, I was, like, squealing, being like, oh my god, I can't believe it happened, and then people were giving me the weird looks. Someone came by and grabbed my butt, and then I didn't pay attention to them because I was too busy staring at your fan art, which is beautiful. So, and I literally thought it was a dream, and the next day, when I was super hungover, I looked at it and smiled, and then I threw up.
So you're more mellow than me. If people I didn't know were grabbing my butt, I'd be like, Stranger Danger. And then
Stranger Danger. Oh, dude, Stranger Danger was not a concept at these places. It was so crowded to be in places. Like, I didn't even bring my purse. I was wearing a hoodie and I had like the pocket in the middle, and I made sure my phone and my wallet were there. And it was like I knew they were there. Super drunk. I tore up the dance floor, man. Dude, I didn't know I could do that, but I did. I went out. My posse. The people around me were not very. They're kind of shy. So they weren't really out dancing, and I ran out on the dance floor. I was like, "Come on, you guys!" Just dancing, getting grinding on people. It's not as fun as the songs make it sound, honestly. But it was a good time. People were dressed up as Santa. Yeah, I don't know. And plus, it's lucky if you're gonna go to those kind of places. I don't want to say don't be you, because that's the wrong thing. But if you don't like being touched, you really shouldn't go to those kind of places. Went to a gay bar, and it was so great. I had a lady coming up next to me, and she was like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like getting really close to me. I was like, "Oh my god, you're so cute." And then I turned around, and there's this like huge guy from the Navy being like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "This is so cool, so much attention." And that was right before I saw your fan art, so I was like, "Oh shit, fuck!" Which I really like fan art, and I'm gonna have a little story when I show that. But that is something I did before Christmas. It was a lot of fun. Have you never been to a crawl before?
Nope.
Well, if you don't like being touched, it probably isn't a fun time for you.
Nah, I don't like big crowds, and I'm cheap. I'm like, wow, for that amount of money, you know how much fucking hard liquor I could get and how trashed I could get by myself?
Dude, no, that's the thing. Well, yeah, by yourself.
Yeah.
But it was a fucking deal. It really was. Like, I got drunk off the first thing because it literally was just hard alcohol and ice in, like... Oh my god, it was well over a cup. I actually still have the cup to remind me not to get drunk again because I felt really bad the next day. I got stuck at a Denny's by myself. I was like, "Mom, can you come pick me up?"
What happened to your posse? They just abandoned you? You're like, here you are
No.
at Denny's, it's your new home.
No, dude, I was like, my mom will pick me up. She's nearby. JK, she's like really far away. I wanted her to pick me up because I didn't want to throw up all over this person's car. Also, this person... Oh my god, they're really bad at driving, and I was actually scared for my life, and I'm serious, so that's why I waited. I had rotten gut, and I was waiting in the Denny's, and it was quite horrible, actually. But it was a fun thing, because I kept pulling out the phone and looking at the fan art, and I was like, "Aw, well." And, yeah, it's just drunk stories with Gamerpixie. I gotta admit, though, standing on the side of the road and, like, thinking that I was looking at fan art and I was dreaming was pretty funny. Getting my booty grabbing.
Well, at least you didn't think it was, like, too much of a dream where you ran out into traffic and stuff.
Yeah, no. Well, there were cops nearby, and I was like, this is... If I'm able to feel cold in this dream, I probably could get hit by a car. Cops are really nice, too. That in, I don't know, downtown Reno. That's funny, because you were like, "I don't like crowds." And I was like, I don't really go for crowds either. I think the only reason I did is because I was with a group of friends. So it's like a crowd in within a crowd. I don't know if you've ever done that, like gone with a couple of friends to a crowded place. Have you ever been to a concert?
Yeah, I've been to concerts before. You go to, like, ball games and stuff, but... The older I get, the more hermit I get to, and especially with what I'd quasi-call my career, and then with the LP hobby thing, is everything I make is for people, either because I'm doing a live stream or it's pre-recorded, even though I'm pre-recorded in my own place, so I feel like it's always emotionally throwing myself out there. So when I'm not making videos, it's like I want to hang out with one person and just be away from everything else.
Want to hang out with... You go next to a mirror and you're like, "Hi there." "Hello there. You look nice. What have you been doing all day?" "Oh, let me guess. Talking to yourself." Oh, that's kind of mean. But yeah. Yeah, so that was my time. It was fun. It would be really fun if you and I went to... I don't know. I know you're like, not too cool. No, I don't want to say too cool, but not too interested. But I really got to go to at least one Comic-Con or MagFest in my life. Meet up the folks. They had one in Reno not too long ago, and they had Adam West there and stuff, and I wasn't able to go. I had to work.
That sounds kind of cool.
It was. They had They had not Bruce Willis. Fuck. Why do I always get this guy's name mixed up? Hold on. I can remember it. Put some music in the background. Do a music so I can remember. Bruce Campbell. There you go.
That's pretty awesome. That's a Michigan dude.
Yeah, they had Bruce. He's a Michigan. I didn't know that. He's a Michigander.
Him and Raimi, the Raimi bros. They're all from Michigan.
Oh my god. Well, okay. Well, fuck that, man. Cool. You get to become a separate state. I mean, country.
Part of, like, the basement scenes in the original Evil Dead were shot in a Michigan basement. The rest, I think, was shot in, like, a cabin in Tennessee, the exteriors and stuff, so.
Well, wait, weird that they did the underground shots and, like, they couldn't just do both.
Well, the Michigan stuff was closer to home, so, and Michigan basements are, like, all over Michigan, so that's easy to do. And
wait,
when they did the original Evil Dead, they didn't have a lot of money, so.
Oh, wait, are you talking about, like, outside shots they did in a different state?
Yeah, the outside ones they did, I think it was in Tennessee.
Oh, okay, because I was like, I thought you meant interior, and I was like, why the fuck would you go all the way to a different state to do an interior shot? No, that makes sense. Wipe out.
No, growing up, too, you mentioned Comic Cons. I was always the odd man out, because almost all my friends were into comic book stuff, and that's always been my life. I end up with friends who are into that kind of thing, and I'm so not into that myself.
But Comic-Con isn't solely comics. It's like... What?
I know it's not. I know it's other there's, like TV shows and films and other nerd culture stuff. Yeah,
yeah, you're into stuff. You love Back to the Future.
I don't like anything.
They had a Comic-Con where fucking Christopher Lloyd was. They did. It was in Chicago, I think.
A friend of mine, Olivia, we're Facebook friends. We've known each other from Blog TV for a long time. Recently, she went to, I think it was a Comic-Con somewhere where they had one of the Jennifers from Back to the Future and some of that other stuff. So.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, yeah, you're right.
All right. Okay. I know.
I hate people though. Is there a Hermit Con? That's every day when you're by yourself and you're a hermit. It's
Hermit Con, free entry, no passes, no lines, no people stepping on your food. Yes, no people stepping on your food. If you've been to Comic Con, people are always stepping on your food.
I just got lost at the free entry sign. I was like, if I was a whore, that'd be my,
logo,
my back tat.
My back tat.
My tramp stamp would be free entry. If I was a whore.
Tat. You should put it on your back though. Free entry. Be like, Jeez, you missed a good chance to put it on your butt. If I were a whore, I'd hang out with customers. Men. All men are potential customers. But whoring.
On that classy note, since we're coming, we're coming. Ah, damn it!
I'm coming. Shit, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
I'm silent.
I didn't
That's
mean
all
to.
I really
I made a
do
mess.
the whole podcast.
Fuck. And now I have to go clean up.
Oh. Since we're at the end of the year and the beginning of a new one, me and Gamerpixie were talking.
What?
We were talking about making a list about what were our best and worst LPs or LP experiences of this past year.
Our worst, Becky. Okay, well, so what's yours? Throw it at me, big son!
Well, I would say the worst LP for me... Are you done?
Do you hear it? I didn't write mine down.
I thought you had. You're like, I got 3 of each.
When the fuck did I say that?
In the
text, never said that.
You texted me. You're like, yeah, I'll probably have 3 of...
Don't I? Yeah, probably. Never confirmed. Damn. About this guy. Don't be like, oh, I might do this. Because he'll be like, oh shit, you did this. I might bring the beer. Where's the beer, man? I'm teasing you. I'm tweezing you. I'm tweezing your hairs. Go ahead.
I'd say my least favorite one was easily Assassin's Creed, for reasons I've said so many times. They put you in a hallway, the controls are unresponsive, you're constantly jumping off of things you don't want to, you have to climb up a million fucking towers you don't want to, again.
Not another tower, my god, can't assassins use the door?
And constantly invisible walls that take you out of the immersion of the situation, so...
I really fucking hate that when games have invisible walls. Actually, I think, it's worse when first-person games do that. Like Halo. Okay, so what? Keep going. I'm not scrambling for my paper. Oh, here it is. There you go.
Well, that was my least favorite one that I did this past year. Was Assassin's Creed easily.
Mm-hmm.
No, you were gonna say something? Go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Oh.
I just found my paper. Don't know if you guys can notice my voice got quiet there because I went over to a different part of the room to search for the paper. It was on my desk the whole time. It was just under another piece of paper. Boy. Oh, so you're asking me?
Yeah. I figured like I could say one, and then if you've got one, we can go back and forth. 'Cause
I don't know how to play.
usually you have
Dialogue
multiple
basketball?
ones. Usually you're like, usually I'll have one, and you're like, I got 18.
Usually you say too much. Are you telling me I say too much?
No.
Okay. So I never wrote this down, but I think it's pretty obvious that my least favorite LP that I did was probably Outlast this year. It's probably Outlast. Not because of the game, but, well, the game's shitty, but I already knew it was kind of shitty. It was just my commentary. I didn't like it at all. I was like, I could have done better. Gameplay-wise, let me think. There's not that many games I've done this year that I'm, like, really, really invested in or really cared about, I guess. Oh, you know what took an unexpected turn is I did not like Fran Bow as much as I thought I would. Like, I did, near the end, I was really not happy with it.
I like that game a lot, but
I don't know what happened at the end. I just really lost interest at that vegetable chapter, and then I felt like the dialogue was very, very...
the whole feeling of the game changes a lot when you go into the kind of tree world as opposed to the dark themes prior to that, admittedly.
Yeah. And then after that, it kind of never really gets dark again. I mean, you could argue that it gets dark because there's a couple parts, like, there's a part with a graveyard. But that part was just kind of like, for me, I was like, whatever. And I thought there were a couple puzzles. In my opinion, there's puzzles that had no point. Like, they really didn't. There you go, my birds are agreeing with me. Get them!
There was a puzzle in the club in the tree world, which is bullshit hard.
Which...
The one with the praying mantis, how you get in there?
Oh, yeah, no, it's bullshit. Yeah, like, how to get... I thought that was really dumb, too. Yeah, it was really stupid because, you know how the ticket thing works? I was trying to draw on that piece of paper way before actually having to go talk to the fucking... Yeah, it was one of those... You knew what to do before, but you had to talk to someone so the character knew, and it's kind of annoying because it was, like... pretty obvious what you're supposed to do, even from the character's viewpoint, so they had no real reason to do that. That stupid calling the nurse thing at the end was so elongating. That annoyed me, because it was like, why do I have to do that? You're right here, and there was nothing special about it. Also, the pinecone thing in the graveyard. There's just a couple of puzzles I was like, actually no, there's a few puzzles I was like, I didn't like them. And well, you know, I don't want to get too far into it because it's still relatively a new game, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But I didn't quite enjoy it as much, and I really, really didn't like the ending.
See, that I feel differently than you. Part of it, though, is
Do you like the ending?
I love the game as a whole. Part of it is it was one of my favorite experiences that wasn't on my channel because I LP'd it with my friend Lauren, and I had a great time hanging out with her and playing it. There were a couple puzzles, like you said, the one where you have to get in the club, which was just frustrating bullshit.
Yeah, it was pretty frustrating.
What I loved about the ending is, and I don't want to give it all away, is it would have been so easy to keep it dark and kill the girl. And what they did was really fantasy and different, and I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was brave they went that way. There could have been more, cliche
they just could have done it better, though, because, like, it totally was like, sequel! And it was like, what? And then when things... when they were like, oh, it, like what you said, ending that way, the way that you didn't want it to end, when they did that whole, like, oh, this is how it's gonna end, I, like, completely knew that's not how it was gonna end, so I think they kind of I don't want to say they messed up. That game isn't bad. I'm gonna throw that out there. Just because I don't like this game, it does not mean it's bad. I do think there's some puzzles that were like, these didn't need to be here, but it's actually... It's an okay game, just personally wise. I lost interest after that one chapter, dude, and then I thought to me, the dialogue became, let's answer your question with 3 more questions. and that's what bothered me. But the ending was really, really predictable, except for I thought it was going to keep going, and it just stopped. And I was like, what? But, yeah.
I like, though, how the creator of the game, she made her a whole own world. It's not often where you see a creator do a good job of, whether you like it or not, and I liked it, making their own world of why the characters are who they are and how they interact and relate to each other.
It was pretty good for that. Yeah, like, it's a good game. I'd give it, like, I don't know, for doing out of 5, I would have to say, like, 4.8. The only reason I wouldn't give it, like, 0.2 and stuff is because some of the puzzles really didn't need to be there, actually. And it wasn't like they were hard, they're just puzzles that really didn't need to be there. I'd like to remind, you know what I'm talking about with the pine cone in the graveyard, right?
Yeah.
Because there was, like, no point to that, and then there's no point to the calling of the nurse either. I thought it was cute that you got to see that character, but at the same time, it didn't tell us anything. But that's the only reason that I'd give it, like, a less of a rating, is that stuff became filler a little bit, and then some people talking was filler. But other than that, puzzles are really good in that game. Puzzles are actually really, really good. I thought they were really cool, because the game started off, easy, because it progressively gets harder, and the puzzles were quite entertaining. And I like Fran.
Oh, sorry. As much as I loved it, I will admit my favorite parts were the early, darker parts where you're in the asylum, and then when you're in the girl's house. I like both of those. Yeah.
Well, see, that's yeah, that's something. That's probably why I am so standoffish about it. It's just that one chapter killed it for me. I was like, no, you had it cool and dark. But that's definitely not my least favorite LP. That's my, like, whatever LP. I don't really care. I didn't have to pay for the game, so I'm, like, completely okay. But yeah, so, I'd just say Outlast, because I felt like I could have done better with commentary. But that's about it. I didn't have a lot of LPs that I super, super hated this year that I've done.
I think part of the reason that's on one of my favorite lists, too, is that's the kind of game I would have never played myself, except for Lauren was playing it, was like, why don't you play it with me? That's part of the reason I loved it, is I never would play a game like that normally.
Yeah, which is surprising to me, because, like, it is, well, actually, I guess it's, I don't know. I've not seen you play many games like that, so I guess it is.
I've played, I think, 2 adventure games, maybe 3 on my channel, but they're all, like, one Star Trek. Hector Magic Courage is really, adult comedy, really, and, well, the other one's Back to the Future, so...
Yeah, Back to the Futures. No, and I was thinking, because I was like, you've never played, like, Ib or Mad Father or Witch's House, that sort of stuff. Not that that's... It's only similar in the sense that it's dark and it has a young female protagonist. It has different puzzles in it.
Yeah, usually I get bored by horror games so fast, and I have so many people who are like, when you do the survival horror game or this kind of horror game, it's just... I get bored by them so fast I can't do a good LP. Because you know how it is, when you're doing an LP and you're not the least bit into the game, it's really hard to record or make it decent.
Yeah, there's the last couple videos of me and Frambo. But Frambo is actually, like, legitimately creepy in some parts. Like the dollhouse part. You're not really into dollhouse, but it was with the twins. That was pretty cool. I liked that. I thought that was cool. It's just when it went to the vegetables, I was like, thanks for breaking my rhythm. But yeah. So, the Outlast. So that's all the answers for least favorite. I can't think of anyone else's videos that... all of Paul's videos, least favorite. I kid. Yeah. So,
well, what about favorites? Well, I mentioned Franbo because I got to work with Lauren on that. And then I got a couple other on my list. Well, my favorite console one, because I thought I'd break them up by console and PC. My favorite console one is MLB The Show. I know it's like the second year I've done that game. It's just...
It's a good game.
It's so fun making tug dick videos for people to watch, you know what I mean?
I know. You tugging the videos out of his dick. I don't know what the fuck to say there, but... I am behind you. I support you 100%.
It's a very well-made sports game, and it's so fun making your own guy and having your story of the year as you go through.
Yeah, and then, like, you really start to care about the character screaming obscenities at people.
I might do that a little bit, maybe, sometimes.
Yeah, maybe this is the entire thing. His entire career is based off of yelling at the ump and other players. But... It's a very heartwarming family series. I suggest that you play it in front of your kids. If you have them. If not, if they're still in the womb, put headphones on the lady's stomach.
The first word the child heard was, swing the damn ball, Brandon Moss. Swing the damn ball? Probably the bat. That would explain more, but...
Swing the damn ball. It's for the pitcher. It's a little...
It's when you get that much rage that the words don't come out right. You're just like...
Dude, that's me when I talk. Normal. Nah. Can barely see normal. So favorite on console, can you give us the other favorites, like for the PC? What was your favorite game for the PC?
My runner-up is, for the PC is XCOM, because I had...
Oh, get it? Baseball? Sorry.
What?
Runner-up?
Well,
baseball?
For the PC, yeah.
No, but isn't runner-up a baseball thing?
No,
term?
Yeah, well, runner-up is anything where it's like your second. It's not a baseball term.
Oh, but, okay.
Is XCOM, because I had so much fun making XCOM, and it was so fun including viewers in it, and making their characters, and trying not to get them killed with some success and some failure.
Mm-hmm. No, that's actually fun. I have this problem where I will watch series and I won't comment, and then I'm like, I have to comment on this shit. Because I pretty much almost am done with yours XCOM series, and I'm almost done with your Sims series too, and I'm like, well, I've gotten through most of your Sims videos, and I haven't left comments. I'm so sorry, but I am watching them.
It's all good.
I feel so bad now. Yeah. So, XCOM, very good game. I love your commentary. It's quite dignified and special. You really sell yourself as the commander of those people.
I don't know if I seem like I know what I'm doing, because I don't most of the time, but it works out.
It does. I like it. You blow things up. You sometimes get aliens, and the scientist lady is nice to you about it.
That's one of those things, too, where time and time again, people assume I'm a lot dumber than I am, which is amazing, because I'm pretty dumb. But then, like, in those kind of games, when I always end up winning in the end, they're like, I can't believe you actually won. I'm like, I'm not so dumb as I thought. Wait, where am I?
You're like, what is this, though? You're better with me, because the budgeting thing, I'd just be lost on and be like, just buy all this. I'm not a good budgeter in video games, because the money isn't real, so my life is not in danger.
Well, I had to think about the imaginary people and the aliens. I had to protect the world. It's a very important pretend thing.
Zoom in on the barracks and you're like, these people.
Well, no. Some of them... Well, it depends. Like, with some of them died, I was like, no, I liked you. And the others I didn't care about. But
oh, okay.
And then I would say my favorite PC game this year was by far Rogue State. And if you haven't played Rogue State, it's really a little bit like Democracy 3 with a bunch of really cool stuff on top of it. You end up being in charge of a Middle Eastern fictional country that has just had a revolution to throw off its old leader. And its old leader was supported, I think, by like the UN in the US. So you're trying to balance the revolutionary forces in your own country, trying to keep them under check, and trying to keep American others from invading you as you try and keep peace for 5 years as your country can craft a democracy-type constitution. And it's really cool.
Hella stressful.
It can be, but it's really fun, too.
I don't know, dude. It sounds like stressfulness.
Well, those are the kind of games I like. The strategy games. It's got a really good concept, and the strategy works really well in it.
Paul goes for the stressful games. Those are scary games. You're good at them, but I look in awe that you can play those. You're real-time strategy dudes. I just play games where I'm like, okay, jump over this, go shoot that. Someone's like, should we invade this place? Should we kill all these people, or should we do this? And I'm like, too big a question.
Well, that's the fun thing, though, is making those decisions and seeing the ramifications of your decision and trying to adjust to it.
I ain't saying it's not fun. I'm just saying don't come with its little stresses, too.
Lately, I've been Let's Playing Crusader Kings 2, and somebody was really nice today and was like, I like watching your LPs. You take risks other people don't. And I never really thought about that. I was just like, well, let's do these things.
You do take risks. That's probably what is so stressful to me, is that I watch you and you're like, okay, let's do this. I'm like, oh, breaking bounds, man.
Life is risk, right? You know.
Yeah. Look at me, taking risks every day.
Well,
no, seriously, I am.
What about you? What were some of your favorite LPs that you did this year?
Oh, favorite LPs? I actually like my friend Bo LP. What? I liked it.
You just spent 5 minutes trashing the game, and you're like, yeah, this
But
is
I like
pretty
my
good.
commentary a lot.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I liked my commentary on that, like, a tons. And I do like my... Even though it won't be finished this year, I really do like my Resident Evil Code Veronica 1 too. That's a fun game. It's, like, insanely long, though, and the controls are ass. And I also happen to be an ass player, so that doesn't help. But no, I think that might be my favoriteest LP this year, because it's the one that I've gotten to be the most, what's the word? It's been the most interactive in terms of me and the viewers. Got a lot of nice comments, got to actually talk to people last stuff, learned a fair amount about certain people, and, like, in a good way and stuff. And the fan art thing was really nice, because it's just like, oh my god, we both worked on this project together, yes! And I'll put that in. I guess I'm thinking about putting in the last video of that series. But yeah, that would be my favorite, because I got to really interact with the people, and plus, it's a Resident Evil. I love Resident Evils, or at least the old ones, and it's, like, fun. It was new, it was a request. I had never actually played the game all the way through. Yeah, so I like that. And... oh, I like the Ghost of Thornton Hall one, too. That one was fun.
That's the Nancy Drew one, right?
Yep, that was the Nancy Drew one. It was tons of funses, and it got a lot of positive attention, which I'm very happy about. I don't know, I'm basing these more off of, like, how my commentary was and how much I got to interact with the audience.
I had fun watching your Ghost of Thornton Hall one. I couldn't believe Nancy Drew could die in a game, and then you're like, check this out, and you killed her. I was like, oh my god, Nancy!
Yeah, dude. I didn't even show you, like, all the deaths either in that game. There's, like, a ton more. But yeah, that'd be my favorites. Takes the cake. I have to say my Resident Evil Code Veronica one has to take the cake for this year. That's mine. I mean, you mean LP? Because we said favorite games of 2015 and favorite LPs and least fave LPs.
Yep.
Did you say favorite game earlier, or were you talking about LPs?
No, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Oh, well, I'd say my favorite game of 2015. Trying to think of games that came out. I have one on my list, but I was hoping to have more than one. But the only one I can really remember is Nancy Drew's Sea of Darkness came out in 2015. That was a really good game. That was the last game that they had Lenny Minnelli do the voice of Nancy Drew, and it was really good, and they went out with a bang on it. They actually wrote a song that a woman sings in that game, and it's actually a part of a puzzle at the end of the game, and it's legit. It's not Disney, but it's like maybe Disney Channel type grade song. Not pop or anything, but just, you know. And I thought that was really cool. So Nancy Drew, Sea of Darkness, go check it out. www.nancydrewonaseaofdarkness.com. Semicolon sassy.
So that's your recommendation for best, because then I'd go with Rogue State.
Mm-hmm. That'd be mine. I really liked Nancy Drew Sea of Darkness. But you know how you were saying you don't really go see movies anymore? And that's kind of like me with games. I do play a lot of games, but they're usually games that have already come out and stuff. Because if we were going to say, like, favorite game that I got to play in 2015, but it wasn't made in 2015, it'd have to be Resident Evil 4 for the PC, because it's kick-ass, and it feels like it was meant to be played with a mouse and keyboard.
Had you played that before?
Yeah, I've played... That was, like, one of my first LPs that I took off because... I think I saw some of that way back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, it was on the Wii. Like, I used to play that game. Oh my god, I used to... it's weird to play it, too, on the computer, because, like, I haven't played it in, like, a really long time. Quite a many years, and it's weird to be like, oh my god, I remember this. I know what to do here, and, like, you don't even remember what the room is, but you remember what to do, sort of bullshit. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's, like, the best game I've played this year, because I bought a ton of games, but I haven't installed them yet. It's the thing. They're not even installed yet. It's on Steam, so it's kind of like they're wrapped in plastic because I haven't installed them yet. So.
No, I'm kind of similar because during the autumn sale, I bought like 10 games, and I think I've installed 2 or 3 of them. The rest I'm waiting to LP once I'm done with other things.
That's kind of me too. Plus, like, people were using the internet a ton when I bought them, and I was like, oh, I want to install all these games, and I couldn't do it, and then it kind of started a procrastination. Plus, I bought games for really shallow reasons, so.
What's a shallow reason? You're like, I like that guy. He's hot.
Yeah, pretty much. I bought Left 4 Dead because I read a ton of fanfic about
that.
Ellis. Yeah, I bought Left 4 Dead because I read like a ton of homoerotic fanfic about Ellis and Nick, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta buy, or Left 4 Dead 2, excuse me. Yeah, and I was like, gotta buy this game because I love Nick. And then I haven't even installed it yet. That's why when people are like, oh yeah, I only play this game because this woman has big boobs, I'm like, more power to you, man. I bought a game and I didn't even play it because there's a hot guy in it. What? Shaking your head.
I'm so amazed I don't get more of that. I went on somebody's channel the other day and I looked a little bit at their Sakura Santa video, and like in the third one he's like, I'm sorry some of you are unsubbing because I'm doing this kind of stuff. I've never had that problem. I do things that are very overtly sexual and people are just like, more please, or that's okay. Men and women. I don't know. So I guess I have a relaxed audience.
Maybe. I know, well, actually you do. You have a pretty chill audience. But I mean, like, it might be the way you do it too, because you...
Oh, I'm masturbating the whole time. I'm just like, next picture. Yes! That's the noise I make when I get a picture I don't like. Like when you're in the middle of it and you switch to one you don't like. Oh, disappointing. Boner went from an outie to an innie.
Oh. Wait, non-circumcised stuff?
What?
Disclaimer, no one really cares if you're circumcised or not. Well,
maybe if you're
Jewish, I take dicks of all types of shit. Maybe some people wish you do. Is that what you said?
No, I said if you're Jewish.
If you're Jewish, you wish you had a circumcised dick. I got a million of them. Grew up in a nice family. We're very understanding and sensitive. Dick. What were we talking about for dicks?
I don't know. You just started talking about dicks, and I lost track. Oh, we were talking about just making games or playing games that are kind of sexist in the response.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing that like sexist too. I don't know, because like I guess every game could be sexist. Then it just depends on what. No, I'm serious.
Every game I play, I make sexist. I'm like, yeah, do you? And people are just like, oh, that's
How
funny.
is that sexist though? Because you're not gay. So I mean, like, does that mean you're like instantly sexist if you're biologically attracted to a woman who is dressed a certain way? Wouldn't it be sexist towards men that they didn't have sexy men in that?
I played games though where like men are the object of desire too, like Seduce Me. They're not half naked, but they are obviously the object.
Yeah. Dude, I played freaking Outlast, and I was not ashamed to be like, oh my god, a naked man. But I did make a joke.
No, you were more subtle about it. You'd be like, you'd have your camera up, and you're like, man, I kind of want to move it down. And you would just stop there. It's like, I know she wants to look at the crotch. I know she wants to.
I do want to look at the dick. I gotta get the dick on camera. Go viral. Not really, because I don't know why. I was gonna, you know what? No, I won't say it. Okay. I had that like, I'll just say it now. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's silliness. It's silliness. The only reason I was like, oh my god, naked man, is that like there aren't a lot of games with naked men in them, and you know, I thought it was cool that there were some naked guys. Sure, they were cut up. Some of them didn't even have nipples anymore, but a girl got a tick what she got in a world.
No, you're true. More often than not, if someone's objectified in a game, it tends to be women.
But objectified, I mean, like, it's so... The guys are objectified, too, most of the time. Because most of the time, a guy has, like, no brain. You're just supposed to, like, use them as, like, a meat thing to move around. That's a type of objectification. It's just different. Hey, I'm serious. Men's got it, too. I'm just saying. I don't care if this is a sensitive subject. People can get mad at me.
I'm not too worried about it. Traditionally, when we put podcasts up, people are usually pretty accepting. Maybe it's once again on my channel, cool. People tend to be pretty mellow. So
yeah, you guys are mellow yellow. What is mellow yellow? Is that like a drink?
Yep.
What is it? Orange juice?
No, it's kind of like Mountain Dew, more or less.
Oh, that sounds weird. Do you like Mountain Dew? I don't either. Yeah. So, if you're gonna objectify someone, Drink Mountain Dew while you're doing it.
This podcast brought to you by Mountain Dew. Touch the boobs. Feel the boobs. What is their thing?
Feel the boobs. Boobs are nice, so I mean, whatever. Do would figure people want to touch them.
I'm a fan of them. I carry a little banner around everywhere that says boobs on it. I'm like, yay, boobs.
We can actually do that. I mean, with the breast cancer thing, they're like, I love boobies.
The what thing?
The breast cancer thing.
Oh,
there was a time that they wore the wristbands. What did you think I said? What do you think I said?
So we can talk about it after the podcast.
Okay. But yeah, boobs. This podcast brought to you by boobs. The bounciest, the biggest, and the bubbliest. Boobs. Do you want to end this here because it's been
Yeah, because I feel like
hour?
a boob.
Sorry. Alright, you guys. Love you. Thanks for listening once again.
Thanks for listening this year, and I hope you all have a very merry and happy new year. And if you don't, fuck you.
Oh, go be king of your own. Fuck yourself. Okay, we love you. Have a great rest of year. I'm serious.
Happy New Year.
Love you. If you can't kiss anyone, kiss yourself on a magical New Year night. Make a wish. Boobs. Signing out. Okay, I'm done.